One of the easiest traps to fall into is believing your spiritual work means building walls against negativity. You spend energy trying to block, shield, and protect yourself from external darkness. But here's the thing, what you resist grows stronger, and what you fear dims your own light. Real growth doesn't happen when you build defenses. It happens when you become so bright that darkness naturally dissolves. The shift from energy defense to energy creation changes everything. Before we continue, if you're ready to break free from the repeating patterns that hold you back, check out my free guide, 5 inner blocks that keep you from deep spiritual growth. The link is waiting for you in the top comment below. Most people approach negative energy like it's an enemy to fight or a wall to build. This defensive mindset keeps you trapped in the very frequency you're trying to escape. Think about it. When someone walks into a room with heavy energy, your first instinct is probably to put up some kind of energetic shield. You imagine protective barriers around yourself. You try to block their negativity from reaching you. But what is actually happening in that moment? You're focusing entirely on the thing you don't want. You're giving your attention to their low vibration. And attention is energy. Whatever you focus on expands in your experience. When you focus on protecting your light behind shields, you're operating from fear. Fear that their energy will contaminate yours. Fear that you're not strong enough to maintain your own frequency. Fear that darkness has power over light. But fear itself is a low-frequency emotion that dims your natural radiance. The energy you put into resistance could be used to cultivate something far more powerful. Every moment spent building imaginary walls is a moment not spent brightening your own light. Every thought about what might drain you is a thought not directed toward what could energize you. This creates a strange paradox. The more you try to protect yourself from negativity, the more you're thinking about negativity. The more you think about it, the more you're vibrating at its frequency. You become what you focus on. Darkness isn't actually a force to battle. This might sound counterintuitive, but darkness is simply the absence of light. You don't fight cold by pushing it away, you introduce heat. You don't fight darkness by building barriers against it, you introduce light. Your attempts to hide your light actually make you more vulnerable, not less. When you operate from a defensive position, you're broadcasting fear. And fear is a signal that attracts exactly what you're trying to avoid. Low-frequency people and situations are drawn to fear because it matches their vibration. But there is something even more problematic about the defensive approach. You assume that you're small and the world is big. You assume that external forces are more powerful than your internal light. You assume that you need protection because you're inherently vulnerable. What if that entire premise is wrong? What if you're not a small light trying to survive in a dark world, but a powerful source of illumination that can transform whatever space you occupy? What if the reason you feel drained by negativity isn't because it's stronger than you, but because you're not fully addressing your own power? When you're constantly defending, you're not creating, you're not expanding, you're not growing brighter, you're just trying to maintain what you already have. But light is meant to grow, energy is meant to flow, consciousness is meant to expand. The defensive mindset also creates separation. It puts you on one side and the world on the other. You versus them. Your light versus their darkness. But this separation is an illusion. We are all part of the same energetic field. When you raise your frequency, you're not just changing yourself, you're contributing to the frequency of the whole. Most people don't realize that every time they choose defense over creation, they're actually dimming the collective light. They are adding to the very problem they're trying to solve. They are reinforcing the illusion that darkness has power. What if there's a completely different approach? What if instead of spending your energy on protection, you spend it on cultivation? What if instead of building walls around your light, you focus on making the light so bright that walls become unnecessary? This shift from defense to creation isn't just more effective, it's more aligned with the nature of consciousness itself. Light doesn't defend itself from darkness. It simply shines and darkness disappears. Instead of defending against darkness, become such a strong light source that darkness can't exist in your presence. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending everything is fine. This is about raising your actual vibrational frequency through practice. The first step is breath work, not complicated breathing techniques, just conscious breathing that anchors you in the present moment. When you breathe with awareness, you're drawing in pure energy. Each inhale brings a high frequency life force. Each exhale releases whatever doesn't serve your highest vibration. But the real transformation happens through visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a light source at your core. Maybe it's a sun, a star, or a flame, whatever feels right for you. This isn't just imagination. You're actually working with the energetic reality of your being. Focus on making this light brighter with every breath. See it growing warmer, more stable, more radiant. This is the act of creation. You're not trying to push anything away. You're actively raising your frequency by cultivating more light. As this inner light grows stronger, let it expand. Don't force it outward like you're fighting something. Let it naturally fill every cell of your body. Watch it gently expand beyond your physical form. This expansion isn't aggressive. It's like the sun rising. It doesn't fight the darkness. It simply illuminates everything it touches. When your light expands this way, there is no space left for lower frequencies to reside. They don't get pushed out violently. They simply can't exist in the presence of such radiant energy. It's like turning on a light switch in a dark room. The darkness doesn't go somewhere else, it simply ceases to exist. This could be your daily practice. Not once in a while when you remember, every day. Make this light cultivation as natural as brushing your teeth. The more you practice, the brighter your baseline frequency becomes. Here is where it gets interesting. Practice sending light to people you perceive need more light. Use your imagination. Hold no expectations of results. Simply do it because you can. When you see someone struggling, instead of trying to avoid their energy, silently send them some of your light, not to fix them or change them, but because sharing light is what light does. The counterintuitive truth is this: sharing your lights makes you brighter, not dimmer. When you operate from this frequency, you naturally transform the energy around you without effort. You become a tuning fork that helps others remember their own light. This is true spiritual protection, not walls, but radiance, not shields, but brightness, no separation, but expansion. When you become a consistent source of high-frequency energy, you don't need to worry about what others bring into your space. Your light is stronger than their darkness. Before we wrap up, if you found this helpful and want to go deeper, remember that free download I mentioned, 5 inner blocks that keep you from deep spiritual growth. The link is waiting for you in the top comment below. Your light grows stronger when shared, not when hidden behind fear-based shields. The world doesn't need more people building walls against negativity. It needs more people becoming sources of light. Start today. Spend 5 minutes visualizing yourself as pure light expanding outward. Make this your daily practice. Watch how this changes not just your energy, but the entire atmosphere around you. When you stop defending and start creating, everything shifts.